What's poppin', y'all? I'm here to talk about the GOAT, Zebstrika, and the really awesome buffs and changes I've made for them in my ROM hack. But before I get into explaining my thought process behind all this stuff and explaining all of it, before I get into that, I want to have a quick disclaimer for new viewers. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate you clicking on the video. For all returning viewers, I appreciate all you guys coming back as well. Make sure y'all drop a comment. Let me know who you are, which part of the demographic you're from. But yeah, if you are new here, I recommend you pause the video and read the description. I've got a bullet point list that explains all of the background info about the ROM hack and the way I'm approaching balancing it, and it'll answer a lot of your basic questions you might have. When you're done with that, when you're done with the video actually, I recommend you check out the Google Sheet link down below. Most importantly, as you can see on screen, there is the move guide. Give that a look because it covers all of the move buffs and changes. I would say the easiest way to go through it is to just scroll in order and go about it that way. So yeah. Sorry, got distracted. I gotta put my phone away, bro. Zebstrika and Blitzel. So these guys are super dope. They are now part normal. Most people, I think, will understand why. If you don't, I recommend you look at other, Pokemon like Pyroar and, I don't know, there's a bunch of other fucking randoms. Even like, we got fucking Arboliva and shit in Gen 9, which actually, in my opinion, has no business being normal. I think Pokemon that are pretty generic, like simplistic animals plus elements can be part normal at times. Especially like a horse type of Pokemon, obviously there's Zebra, but yeah, it also just makes them much better. That dual stab is huge, and then the Ghost immunity is also incredibly valuable, all in exchange for just a mere, fighting weakness, which really isn't a big deal at all. It's much better to be, especially with Rhyme being like a double battle in this game, which is inherently risky and difficult in a, a Nuzlocke sort of context, because double battles in general are very unpredictable with the AI. So having that Ghost immunity to Rhyme is super valuable, and just Ghost immunity in general. And then, yeah, that dual stab, normal stab is super dope. And they've got, also you get Stab Facade with Quick Feet, and you get, Stab Sipper into E-Speed, or just Stab E-Speed in general. And then, of course, you have, like, Reckless Double Edge and all this other cool-ass stuff that they have going on. So I love part normal Zebstrika. I think it's super dope. And yeah, this thing as a whole is a really fun mixed attacker. Obviously, it's very physically leaning, but I did throw on strong special moves much earlier, so they can still take advantage of their special attack stat. And you also always have access to movie learner, right? So you can still always abuse that special attack stat for certain matchups, especially with like a mixed set. Like you could do like a Hyper Beam, Zap Cannon into like a physical move, for example. Both of those function like Draco Meteor now. But yeah, you have tons of cool reckless options, especially the exclusive Thunderous Kick, which is normally Galarian Zapdos' move, who's a fighting electric type now and also has reckless, so it's pretty cool. As one of their abilities. So yeah, and they also have Quick Feet, actually, funnily enough. I just noticed they actually share two abilities. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Quick Feet is super good on this guy. So you might be thinking, this thing's already really fast, why would I ever run Quick Feet? And you'd be correct if this was a competitive setting, but this isn't. I mean, even then it's good, but it seems more underwhelming if you're like competitively minded and you're not looking into the fact that you're not guaranteed a plus speed nature and your Pokemon only get 20 IVs, which makes a big difference. So you're actually only hitting, hold on, sorry, I gotta get this thing off my arm, bro. Alright, you're only actually hitting, let's do the math, you're hitting 302. That doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, my EVs aren't max. I was gonna say, that makes no sense. Okay, you're hitting base 105 and below. Everything with base 105 speed and below you outspeed on the AI no matter what, unless you get a minus speed nature. So anything faster, you have to run Scarf or E-Speed or Quick Feet or something along those lines. And that's all a big deal, obviously. So Quick Feet is super fun because of that Stab Facade, and also just being able to switch between your moves. For example, like a mixed Quick Feet set would be super good, right? You can click Hyper Beam, you outspeed everything. You click Hyper Beam or Zap Cannon or whatever high voltage, whatever special attacking move, and then you switch to a physical move on the next Pokemon. You can switch to Facade and all this other cool shit. So I love the idea of like mixed Quick Feet Zebstrika specifically, and obviously yeah, Facade does go crazy, and it makes this thing incredibly fast. And the beautiful thing about Quick Feet is you don't need to run any speed EVs to outspeed everything in the game. You're hitting massive levels of speed with no investment. So all you have to do is dump your rest into either an HP if you want to be bulkier to take a hit, switch in, get the orb to trigger, or I would say an even cooler way is to run max mixed. Like I mean, you don't have to run max EVs a lot of the time because you're just trying to kill whatever's in front of you. But you dump a bunch. The point being, you have a lot of extra EVs to spare to dump into your special attack as well. So that makes mixed Quick Feet even better. They've also got some other funny stuff like Reckless Overheat. If you're wondering, Blast Burn now functions like the Draco Meteor variant, and then Overheat is now Recoil, Special Flare Blitz. And of course they do have Flare Blitz, Thunderous Kick, Head Smash, and then stab, double edge, and volt tackle, and then they also via TM they get wild charge, takedown, play rough, and hell thrust. So tons of recoil moves there. Wild charge becomes 120 power with reckless, 100 power otherwise. Takedown, play rough, hell thrust, all the same thing. And then flare blitz, thunderous kick, and overheat become 144. And then head smash, double edge and volt tackle also become 144. And then head smash is even stronger. Head smash is 140 power. And drops your defenses and has 50% recoil, so it deals a lot more recoil, but it can't miss anymore. So it's a very, very strong coverage move. You've also got like Electro Ball, which is super cool because it gives you +1 speed now, so that makes, it becomes very strong after one use. You've got other cool coverage, Headlong Rush. Oh, actually, no, I thought I forgot to give High Horsepower for a second, but it's right there. High Horsepower is a multi-hit move that's really strong. It's weaker than Headlong Rush, but it's stronger than EQ, and it also has additional utility that Zebstrika won't be using too much, just because of the stat spread and the typing. I mean, you could do some bulky Zebstrika stuff once in a while, but even if you're doing it bulky, I mean, maybe at most you'd be running like a Jack button for one boss fight, right? Also, Blitzel is relatively bulky for that point in the game. Quick, strong, hustle is buffed. As you can see, there are tons of moves that don't miss. The most important ones being priority moves like Quick Attack, Spark, and Power Dash, as well as moves like Stomping Tantrum and Smart Strike for coverage, and even stuff like First Impression, U-Turn. Cool moves like that. And you can also just slap on a wide lens, and because you're naturally fast, you can outspeed things and hit very, very hard with that 75 attack plus hustle. And even without hustle, it's pretty strong. 75 offenses for that point in the game is great. Yeah, Quick Feet is super fitting. I love the flavor of it, of course. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? And then Stab Sipper is a really nice immunity because they're already immune to Ghost, and now they're also getting immunity to Grass, and they get an attack boost, and they have tons of fire moves too, which I think is really fun. Like Temper Flare, Flare Blitz, Overheat, all this cool stuff. Even stuff like Blaze Kick and stuff. So I think that's really cool to be able to switch in on like a grass move, or especially on a grass type, and then hit them with a super effective, Mega Horn or Fire move or First Impression or whatever, whatever super effective move it might be. I think that's really cool. And I also just love the flavor of a reckless boosted thunderous kick on the literal zebra, electric zebra Pokemon. I think that's super, super dope. His bulk is fine. I mean, again, with HP investment, he'll take a hit or two if you needed to. He'll definitely take resisted hits, no problem. He's not actually bulky. I mean, I guess he is relatively frail, but you have to keep in mind you always have customizability over your EVs and stuff. Other cool things, you could try some cheesy, like, set up the rain, switch in, get your flame orb, and then go for like an electro shot set in the rain. Keep in mind that only has one PP now, but you can still blow something up and get a +1 special attack boost, and then click, your high voltage, your hyper voice, your hyper beam, your overheat, although that would be in the rain, weather ball, stuff like that. So that's really fun. I think Dazzling Gleam as well. Those are all some solid special moves they get. So I think that's super, super cool. A special electro shot set in the rain with Quick Feet. You can really experiment with this guy. He's got a lot of really fun offensive tools. Obviously, like Bandit E-Speed is going to be strong once in a while to just get some kills if you get things at the range for it. I already covered all the mixed attacking stuff. Like you get Impact, Electro Assault are physical versions of Draco Meteor, and then Zap Cannon and Hyper Beam are special. And yeah, just overall very straightforward, very cool, very fitting buffs. I love the way it turned out. What else is there to talk about, man? Not too much, really. And I could explain the normal typing choice more, but I think I've explained it enough. I think it makes sense. And it's just a really, really good buff for them. Helps them stand out from other, like, pure electric types as well. If they were pure electric, I would have given them galvanized, maybe, but there's like 2 other galvanized pure electrics, and it's just like, blah. And also, like, it's just underwhelming. This is so much better, because even if I did give them galvanized pure electric, like, Stab is normal is always going to be better, because you get the dual typing advantage and the immunities and the offensive advantage. So yeah, overall, very cool changes. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment if you made it to the end. I think I've covered all the really important stuff. Obviously, stuff like Parabolic is really strong early game on Blitzel, heals you by a bunch. You can run a bulky set. You've got your Strange Impulse, which drops special attack by -2. You got Recharge for healing, so you do have some cool utility stuff, especially early on, that you can take advantage of with Blitzel. And obviously, good old reliable like Volt Switch, Taunt, Shenanigans is always going to be useful. Screens, etc. So yeah, shout out to y'all if you made it to the end. Peace out. Drop a comment if you did. Oh, also I didn't cover Shell Bell, but you can read. Shell Bell negates recoil a bit, so if you click Volt Tackle, you're only taking 13% recoil with Shell Bell. If you click Wild Charge, you're taking no recoil with Shell Bell. I would say it's relatively niche. I would only ever use it on something that's like, say for example, I want to kill something that's faster than naturally. I would say Shell Bell is much better if you get a plus speed Zebstrika. Then Shell Bell is pretty sick. But if you don't get plus speed nature, it's going to be a bit more situational. Yeah, Scarf Reckless is great. Quick Feet's awesome. All the cool mixed attack and shit. Stab Sipper is great for immunities. Shout out to y'all if you made it to the end. Peace out.